Hello again, my little snotlings, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, I want to share with you my pure Goblin army for Warhammer the Old World. That's right, there is not an orc in sight. It is all goblins all the way. It's quite the horde, oh my god. This might be the most models that I have seen in an old world army. It turns out that you can get quite a lot in a green skin force if you only take the little guys. And there are over 230 models in this army list. Truly a green tide. And so without further ado, I am very excited for today's video. Let's grab our spears, jump atop our wolves and spiders, and charge right into this thing. So as is tradition with these army overviews, before we get into the specific units, I just want to give you guys a little bit of context. What were my thoughts behind this army when I was building it? Well, be ready to chow down on some member berries because this is pretty much my childhood army, my childhood dream made manifest. The first army I can ever say was really mine was my Orc and Goblin one from when I was a kid. And some of the models you'll see in this force are from a long time ago, are 25 years old. Those squigs are all 25 years old. These are original Battle for Skull Pass Night Goblins, and these are the original Battle for Skull Pass Spider Riders. And so finally, after many years and with Old World being re-released, I've been able to go back and complete the army from my childhood, and finally I can be a true goblin in a guardsman body. Now that is the emotional sort of nostalgic reason behind this force, but there is a more logical reason as well. I wanted to run a proper horde, and nothing seems more appropriate than having a horde of greenskins and reliving the glory days of Grom the Paunch with a full goblin horde as well. And in total, there are 234 models in this army. And we've got a mixture, you know, we've got infantry and we've got cavalry and we've got some specialist stuff in here as well, like squigs and fanatics. So there is a little bit of punch here, and it feels like this is a proper big horde. And I think it's going to be able to really leverage that factor on the tabletop, because sure, infantry and hordes aren't seen as being very good in Old World at the moment, but what if that's just because people aren't taking big enough hordes? That's kind of my theory with this army, and that's something I want to explore. If we actually go full send on the horde, can infantry go all the way around the circle, come out the other side, and actually end up being half decent? And so that is really the challenge in mind with this force. And so with all of that said, now let's get to the best bit. Let's look at the units. Starting off, you can see that this force is broken down into 3 different tribes. I love doing this with my Orcs and Goblins. The idea of multiple tribes coming together, maybe they've been bashed into line by a particular war boss, in this case a Goblin war boss, making them all reluctantly work together to try and beat the Umis. So our first tribe, and the tribe that's probably in charge today, as it is the one which has all the characters, are my Night Goblins. Now we have got, starting off, a big unit of 38 Night Goblins with full command, spears and shields. They also have got 3 fanatics with them, so even though these goblins themselves are pretty weedy with their strength 3 and their weapon skill 2, the fanatics should help even the fight. Now I have not paid for netters on this unit because it's 20 points. This is definitely something I'm going to be keeping an eye on at the tournament, and if it feels like I should have had some netters and that might have helped me, then I'll definitely be bearing that in mind for future improvements to this list. Now this unit has got 38 goblins in it, and that's because we've left room for a couple of characters. On the left here we have got the Goblin BSB, and he has He's got a pretty simple loadout. He's got the BSB, and then he's basically got the Trollhide trousers and an enchanted shield. He's also got light armor, so he's going to be on a 5-up, 6-up, and then 5-up. We've then got the Goblin Warboss here, who has also got Trollhide trousers, also got an enchanted shield, because both those are extremely common magical items. And then we've given him the Choppius Chopper. So he's also going to be on a 5-up, 6-up, 5-up. Those two characters are going to be sat comfortably inside this big blob of goblins. And again, that should give them a little bit more punch. I think I also had a few points left over to give this Night Goblin BSB a great weapon. So we've got a bit of punch from the Fanatics, bit of punch from the characters, and then just pure mass from the goblins themselves. Now, whilst we're down here, we might as well do our third and final character of the army. This is my level 4 Night Goblin Shaman, and he has absolutely no upgrades whatsoever. No lore familiar or nothing. Guys, it's goblins, it's orcs, it's greenskins. You have to embrace the randomness. Maybe he'll get the spells that I want, maybe he won't. We'll just have to find out. He will be running War Magic, of course. Now, all of these goblins are from the Battle of Skull Pass, but we've also got some other Night Goblins as well. These are the official Old World Night Goblin models, and we've got a brick of 30 of them with full command, and we have got 3 Fanatics in that unit. There's not much to say about this. They've got spears and shields. The only thing to say is, look at the size difference. These guys are absolutely tiny. These guys are absolutely massive. These are the Giga Goblins. They're just absolute units. In the future, when I get a few more Goblin bosses painted up, I am highly tempted to have these as some sort of tongue-in-cheek sort of royal bodyguard, because these are the biggest and strongest goblins, clearly. Behind these guys, we have got a unit of 20 archers. These are Night Goblins with short bows, and they've also got full command. The reason they've got full command is pretty simple. That is what they're modeled with. That's what they came with Battle of Skull Pass. Yes, it probably would be a bit more efficient to not bother with the full command, but I want to try and be WYSIWYG as much as possible where possible. And I know that's somewhat ironic by these guys missing their shields, but nobody's perfect. But yeah, we want to have the full command if they've got full command, and a couple of Fanatics there as well. So a total of 8, which is quite a lot of... It's quite a lot of Fanatics. That is a lot of potential punch here. Speaking of punch, we have got my favourite unit in the entire game. It is the Squig Herd. I love the Squig Herd. I love these models specifically. These are my childhood favourites. They are my adulthood favourites. And I love everything from the snotling on the end of the stick to the guy who's got the bandaged nose because he keeps bashing them with the cymbals, to the two chaps with bagpipes. Or should I say squig pipes? Oh my days. So yeah, I love the Squig Herd. Now, according to Old World Builder, even though I've got 4 units of Night Goblins here and I've only got 3 characters, that's all right, because each one of these characters unlocks one each of Night Goblins and then like Squig Herds and stuff like that. So I did think when I was building this list originally that I would need a 4th character, but apparently 1 character can unlock a Night Goblins and a Squig Herd, which is good to know. So this is the right amount of characters for this number of Night Goblin units. So that covers our first Goblin tribe. We then have our second Goblin tribe. This one is clearly a bit more nomadic because it is all cavalry all the way. So we have got a unit of 10 Spider Riders. These guys have all been equipped with light armor and shields, and they also have full command. We've got Banner Guy, and we've also got the Sergeant there, or the boss I should say, and then we've got the Musician. These guys, again, have been given full command, mostly because that's what they came with. That's what they've got, so that's what I'm going to give them and use it on the battlefield. I've not used Spider Riders before. I am curious to see how they do. As you guys know from my previous After Action report, I love the Wolf Riders, and that's why, as you'll see in a moment, we've got quite a lot of them today. But I am very curious about the Spider Riders, because even though they're not quite as fast, they do all have poisoned attacks. So between the poisoned attacks and then the spears, this unit might actually pack a relative amount of punch. Speaking of being able to do damage on the charge, we have got the Goblin Assault Cavalry. The Goblin Shock Cavalry are back. It is my unit of 10 Goblin Wolf Riders with spears and shields and light armor. Positively heavy cavalry by Goblin standards. I love these guys. They are totally bonkers. They pretty much, with their 9-inch move and a total of 18-inch charge range, thanks to Swift Stride, and they are extremely susceptible to Impetuous. But what's kind of funny is whenever they fail their Impetuous check, they go charging off, and they do surprisingly well. And then whenever they pass their Impetuous check, I tend to go and charge them off anyway. I am really looking forward to using these guys again. They have beaten Bretonnian Knights of the Realm in combat. They've taken on Gutter Runners. They've taken on Skaven Gutter Runners and come out on top. They always overperform. They never should do as well as they do, but they always do better than expected. And they're cheap. They're only like 110 points, this whole squad. I have paid for a boss in here to get the extra attack, but I haven't got the banner or the musician in this unit because trying to keep them cheap, and we do expect them to die, so we don't want them to give up that banner. We do have a couple of other unit of Wolf Riders here. We've got 2 units of 5 Wolf Riders with short bows. I'm trying these guys out. They're going to be going in Skirmisher because they do have that option. I'm not convinced by Goblin Wolf Riders with short bows. And now that is based on my paper analysis. I haven't tried it out on the tabletop yet. But the reason why I'm not convinced is short bows aren't very good. And if I'm in short bow range, I'm in charge range, so I'm in potentially impetuous range. And so my thinking is that I see everyone taking these guys and with short bows and little squads and saying that they're a bit of chaff and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, fair enough, but honestly, I feel like the likelihood is going to be that these guys don't do very much throughout the whole tournament, and what I probably end up wanting is just another squad of 10 spears. If that happens, then I will go and get another squad of 10 spears because I love Wolf Riders, and the more, the merrier. So our second tribe is 30 cavalry. This brings us on to the third and final tribe, the foot-slogging goblins, the Goblin Assault Corps. We have got this is my heavy infantry. This is because they've got light armor and shields. These guys are on like a 6-up save. They basically don't have a save. These guys don't have a save. These guys don't have a save. But these guys are on a mighty 5+. They are heavy shock infantry. Like, these are heavy shock cavalry. These are heavy shock infantry by Goblin standards. I don't think they'd hold up to some of to a Chaos Warrior. They're not in the same league, but everything's relative, right? So relative to the rest of the army, these guys are my more elite. I can't even say it with a straight face. My elite troops. We've got a brick of 40 common goblins with full command and 3 nasty skulkers. I actually really like these. These are just the normal night goblins. See if I can get the camera to focus on them. These are just the normal night goblin models, but with the curved blades, with the hand weapons. And I think they look really good for nasty skulkers. Just don't give them the shields, and I think they work quite well for that. And obviously they're a little bit cheap, using some spare night goblins to do that. But yeah, we've got 40 goblins there with 3 nasty skulkers, so a blob of 43 in total. And then we've got 35 more common goblins. Same thing, full command, spears and shields, and 3 nasty skulkers. The reason why this unit is a little bit smaller is simply because this is how many common goblins have survived the transition from my childhood. Again, many of these are 25 years old. They were built by 25-year-old me, although I have tried to fix up as many of them as possible. And that's why they're on the smaller bases. Now, you might be saying, but Mordian, didn't Box of Goblins come in unit size of 20? You would be correct. You would be correct. It turns out that over the decades, 5 have gone missing, or perhaps they got broken at some point. Who knows? But yeah, 5. The reason it's 35 there is simply because they are the 35 survivors from my childhood. And last but not least, we have got the Goblin Bolt Thrower. This is the only war machine that I currently have painted up, and I actually just want to talk about that for a moment, because I know a lot of people are going to be saying, Mordian, where is the Doom Diver? Where is the Rock Lobber? Why, those units are iconic, especially Doom Diver for the Goblins. Why aren't you running them? Simple case is, I haven't got them built and painted yet. That's it. But despair not, dear viewers, because that just gives me an excuse to get them built and painted up and to do another pure Goblin run in the future. Maybe this time we go for more of a Goblin artillery corps with a couple of Doom Divers and some Rock Lobbers and some Bolt Throwers. But that just about covers the whole army. So, like I said, 234 Goblins in total. Loads of infantry, loads of cavalry, little bit of ranged, and even some decent combat units in there as well. If I was to change this army up for the future, like I said, I would do some more war machines. I'd also be interested in getting some more shamans. I've just got the one shaman at the moment, but again, I do have more that I probably could get built and painted up for a future run with the Gobbos. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to the pure Goblins? Are you looking forward to seeing how the chittering masses of squeaky little green buggers do? Or or do you think it's going to go horribly, horribly wrong? Of course, always open to feedback, any improvements or suggestions for this list and ideas for future lists. I do have an idea of, if I've done pure Goblin, maybe I should go the other way and go pure Orcs. I do have an absolute crap load of Orc boys that I could throw onto the tabletop as well. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to go ahead and smash that like button and also subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing, truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full-time without the incredible and generous support of my members, so thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.